Three considerations when you're choosing a weapon. That is the topic for Coffee with Alain today. Little self-defense lesson. Hope your week is going well. It's Tuesday, and I am drinking out of a John Wayne mug just because I wanted to drink out of a John Wayne mug this morning. Before I get into this little lesson, I want to remind you, go to enjoylifesafely.com. Download that free guide to staying safe in this crazy world. Give you some great tips to keep you and your loved ones safe. You'll also get the newsletter every weekend. More tips on staying safe, enjoying life, being exceptional. Get that ebook, get that newsletter. Stay safe and keep those that you care about safe too. Now let's talk a little bit about weapons. Yes, there are more than three considerations that you need when you're choosing a weapon. One of the biggest right up front that we're not going to talk about today, lethal versus less lethal or non-lethal. Not going to get into that. But I want to get into three considerations that Damian Ross wrote about in Self-Defense for Dummies. The first, it works. You need to have a weapon that works. Couple things on this. There are some of those little stun gun things that they sell for ladies' self-defense and such. I wouldn't rely on them. They don't work through clothes. And there's a video out there, it's an older video way back when, with Peyton Quinn knocking one of those out of the girl's hand that zapped him with it just to show that he could take the zap and knock it out of her hand, and then where is she? Because you got to be right up close and personal to somebody to be able to touch him with those. So make sure it works. You might have something, maybe you have pepper spray or reflex protect, but it's so old and way past the expiration date because you weren't paying attention that you go to use it and the propellant's weakened and it doesn't spray out as far as it's supposed to. Or maybe you have another type of weapon and you go to deploy it and it breaks in your hand or something. You have to make sure that whatever you're carrying for self-defense is to work. So that's one. Number two, you'll carry it. Some things are so big and bulky or this or that you leave them at home because they're a nuisance. They're a pain to carry. That will do you no good if you can't access it because you left it at home. That's why when I post about Reflex Protect, there's always somebody, wasp spray. You going to carry a big can of wasp spray around with you? No. The small Reflex Protect you can easily carry in excess if you need it. Same with the smaller pepper sprays. Wasp spray, you're not carrying that big can around with you. It's not effective either. So that goes into you'll carry it and it works. That's why that's terrible advice. Third thing that Damian says you have to consider, it's legal. Don't want you carrying something that's going to get you into trouble. The likelihood of you using it to defend yourself is small in most situations if you are being smart, not going to places that are more dangerous, your awareness is up, you avoid, you practice all those safe habits, and the likelihood of you having to use your weapon to defend yourself is pretty small. So I don't want you carrying something that's not legal that's going to get you into trouble. Make sense? Reflex Protect is great, but it's not legal to carry on the plane with you. You have to put it in your checked baggage. So when you're in the airport and on the plane, if you had to defend yourself, likelihood of that is low, but not impossible. We see situations where people have had to defend themselves in those situations. So you need something that's legal to carry through security. And that's why a good sturdy tactical pen or just a good sturdy pen. I don't want it to be too tactical and all weaponized, a knife inside and such. That'll get you in trouble when you try to take it through TSA. But a good sturdy pen, a cane that's not too weaponized, those can be taken on a plane and used to defend yourself if you have to. So those are three good considerations, not the only considerations, but three good ones that Damian wrote about. It works, you'll carry it, and it's legal. You want all three of those for sure. Want to say good morning to Jay and Vicky. Appreciate you guys being here and saying hello. Hope you're having a good morning. I'm going to say good morning to Dixon. Dixon says, my metal pin is always on my person when leaving the house. Perfect example of something that it will work, especially if you know how to use it. Dixon has martial art training for decades, so he knows how to use it. He's carrying it, and it's legal to carry. So it meets all of Damon's criteria. And anything you carry as a weapon for self-defense should meet those criteria, as well as there are other things you want to consider too. So that's just a little self-defense lesson for this Tuesday. You know, borrowed the idea from Damian Ross out of Self-Defense for Dummies. Good little book. Damian does know self-defense, teaches out in New York. I've never met him, but he does provide some good information. So we like that too. And then Jay said, don't get arrested defending yourself. Exactly. We only defend ourselves when it's absolutely necessary, and we use legal means, and we don't go beyond what we're allowed to do to keep ourselves safe from criminals and those who want to do us harm, safe from the legal system, which can be very expensive and take your freedom as well. So we want to make sure we do things right and proper on all fronts. Everybody, go out, make it a terrific Tuesday. We'll be back tomorrow with a little bit of warrior wisdom.